Hey, there's something that didn't happen before, but happened today specifically. So I've been doing the thumb pulling for a while, right? My bill is like crazy right now. So I've been doing it for a while, but I never had this much of progress before. So I I hate this fail. So I sleep with my tongue fit right in my mouth, and I didn't gaping in anywhere. Sometimes I gape when my tongue is like on the roof of my mouth, so the lower is like not there, and or I just like open my mouth while I'm sleeping. So, and it shouldn't happen that way. That's the thing. Like if you are sleeping with either style, it shouldn't happen. Your tongue should fit perfectly. Your mouth needs to shut, and it needs to be like comfortable. You're not forcing it to have that position in the first place. And I have that today. And I'm like, that's interesting. And I thought about it, why I got this, because essentially I found out that the problem with my thumb pulling is that I try so hard to keep my tongue on the roof, but essentially my tongue needs to be perfectly sit in my mouth, in the space that is my mouth, and then the tongue is fitting perfectly there. So it's not on the top of of my mouth, on the roof of my mouth every single day, every time. It's just that it needs to be fit perfectly there. There's no gap in between. And when I do the exercise of thumb pulling, I began to see the result. And it's like instantaneous. And I also feel like because I massage my feet, the sole, I think it's called plantar, whatever it is. It sounds medical, I don't know. But since I massage my sole, it become really apparent in my face. I don't feel bloated anymore. And then my eyes start to feel similar, so they don't necessarily have that asymmetry. And I like it when I see it, because it always bugs me, because what is wrong with my eyes, because it's just like the first thing that I see is my eyes in front of the mirror or the reflection like this, and I'm like, okay, we made a progress. Sometimes the progress is that easy, it's that quick. When you know what to do, it's just that easy. But that leads us to the things that we want to talk about today, which is the ease, the disguise of ease. Because everything is instant, right? When you know, you get it. When you know, it doesn't matter how far it is, you get it. Like the things that you want is like just there. You know the direction, you know the feeling, you know the container, you know what it feels like, you know what else is filling the space within that container. And when you put it that way, you eventually see the destination to be like, it's already here. So I got every component that it's needed to create this thing. And that's really easy, to be honest. And I used to believe that. Like, you want something, everything is available. If you think of something, it's already there. You just access it. You just like think about it, vision it, and think what is the component of it and what you don't have. And you essentially get the things that you don't have, either by experience, either by support, either by lessons, either by knowledge. When you get the knowledge, you are there instantly. It doesn't need any time. There is no distance between you and it, because it is you. So it contains in your experience, it contains in your moment, because cat hair, because everything just here. exist simultaneously. You don't need to hope or wishes that I hope it's here. Well, it's here. You can just like see it. And I'm like, exactly. So it leads me into the next question that I have, which is why do I feel like my life is so slow right now? Because I see my life can be that quick, can be that easy, can be that instant, but why is it so slow? So I thought about it, and I think I contradicting to what I just said, because that used to be my belief, but then when I jump into the darkness, I decided like it doesn't seem true because I want to experience the darkness, and then I'm just like falling into the slow life. And it's nice to be having so slow life, but there's a trap in it, and I'll talk about it by the end of this. But yeah, and I thought like, why is my life so slow? Because I also have a belief that's contradicting to that first idea that I have, that everything is instant, everything is here, exists simultaneously. That I believe that this earth is so slow. So this is the paradigm that I'm living, is that when I was a child, because I see other people doing it slow freaking hell. And I'm like, oh my God, this earth is slow. Everything is growing in step. Even the leaves, even this fruit. Look at this mangosteen. Ripen. It's a ripe fruit. I forgot the word ripe, but it's actually that. And if you don't know this, this is a fruit that is basically in the tropical region, especially in Southeast Asia. I don't know where else it grows, but I feel like if you have a tropical, you are in a tropical place, you can grow this. And look at this. This is a fruit. It needs to be coming from a branch first. The branch first. And then the branch start having leaves and having some flowers. And then it grows, it grows, it grows until there's some small fruit that represent this, that is still raw, that is still hard to it, because this one is pretty much soft. It's still denser than this, and it eventually become this. So it grows in step. It cannot exist simultaneously because this world is based on third dimensional, and in third dimensional, progress is the key. You cannot bypass that at some point. What you can is actually cross the timeline, meaning that if you have the ability to teleport yourself into a different reality, which is we can, it's just that it's still not here. Genetically, it is still not possible. Can you rewind time? Yes. Can you rewind your time? No. So there are that. Rewind time itself, meaning that if you are older looking person, you want to look younger, you can. Still can. Can you rewind time? Meaning that you are becoming younger, younger, younger in age. Like you just like teleport somewhere. No, it's still not available. So that's the thing. Like we are living in this step that needs to grow at its pace. And it cannot be bypassed with anything besides momentum. You just like build it incrementally until it eventually exists physically. And that's one way to put it, is that it grows in momentum, in steps. But then if we think about it like that, that definition is not set to everything else, because something else out there can be a lot different. So when you think about Wait a minute, I kind of forget about what I said, but what I write. Let me see. If you want to know what I talk about in the description, there is. Did I write it here? I don't think so. No. So there are another thing which is frequency. That kind of I remember when I like okay. So frequency is different because frequency is something that you can use to jump the timeline. Meaning that you are here. So momentum is your physical progression, but frequency is your spirit progression. So you don't necessarily need to know the momentum itself. You need to know that what is real in your soul. What is represented? What is the representation of your soul that is true for you right now? And that thing called flow, which is the flow of your existence. And in here, it doesn't move in steps. It moves so erratically that it just doesn't make sense at one point because you cannot make sense this. Because this is just you, your soul. The progression of your soul is that the expression of it filled with your emotion, which is the flow is with emotion is all over the place. You cannot really tell the direction of it. It just flows through. Can be like fork in some way, and then it diverse in different way, and that's how feelings work. They are erratically. It's interesting. This is interesting. Sometimes I get a glitch of, like a deja vu, but it hasn't happened. But it will happen eventually. So I saw the side of a building, the side of the wall. And I don't know why, I just want to look at it. And then it's somewhere and somehow I was teleported into a different time that I remember as like I'm deja vu wing that future. So, and then when it happened in the future, I kind of like fall to the past because oh yeah, I remember seeing this in that past, but I feel deja vu because it feels the same. So that's the thing, and I just tap into that deja vu moment, but for the present, for the future. Just I don't know when it will happen, but yeah, we are distracted because it happened very spontaneously, and we were talking about frequency. So frequency filled with emotion, and it is from your soul, and that emotion you feel in the flow of your frequency is something that you need to express, which is such an incredible one-liner. Frequency filled with emotion that you need to express. And when you look at it this way, you kind of understand that you don't need to understand it. You just go with it. Because then if you try to understand it, you are ungrounded. You are floating somewhere. And instead of walking the path, you are flying distant away from the path that you need to be. And that's not good. So I currently have this. Oh, that's one more ripe fruit. So I look myself today and I'm like, I am deeply craving the speed of my life. Because my life cannot be this slow. It cannot be because I'm getting frustrated because why can't I just move? Why do I need to wait? Why do I need to take a break? And I'm like, okay, we get it that we need We need some break time to like regain our focus to the things for the things that we want to create. But now it's taking too long, and I'm become so impatient about it, and I just want to go, go, go. And I also understand that there are traps in that experience because I have experienced it before, but then I'm just craving it. It's the kind of crave that I'm just like I'm willing to take the risk to eventually experience speed, because there are so many things that happened before that has leading me into this momentum of life that I'm craving speed. And I have been like looking for mentors that I can model from, and I see myself, oh, this person has the speed that I want. And then I just watching a master class yesterday about what do you call it, alignment maxing. Alignment maxing by Amy Elizabeth, and she is talking about what you feel right now. What I just told you is that what you feel right now, the alignment that you feel, you can cash it out to be a profitable business in a way that is in whatever ways you want it to be. And the way is endless if you think about it. And when we experience it that way, it can be so erratic. It can be all over the place, and can be as unstructured as it be as it will, because she experienced it that way. She she's really good at doing her stuff, but I also understand that the way she does it is not compelling to me. But I do still wish that I am having that kind of boldness, because now I have learned that I used to be bold. I used to be like so in on point on things, but then that idea pressure me to be someone that is saving others, which is not good because then I'm sacrificing myself. And I get to see myself, this is not the life that I need to be. Maybe there was a time when I was that person who saved people's life, but now that kind of paradigm doesn't work in this reality, because if I try to save someone who is not physically tortured, then I am torturing their expansion. Meaning that if I have a pity party in my community, in my circle, then they can't evolve because they cannot take responsibility upon what they have. So it doesn't work. And I try to let people know there are other ways. But if they decided to be like, I'm still in this limiting belief, then I'm like, okay, have it. Have it. I don't have any fear. I have no fear around if you are stuck in this or not, because life is working for you. I don't need to work it for you. You will experience that life is working for you. So I trust life. I trust the universe to bring the enlightenment, the decision making, the process for this person to experience something that is better, that might not be in the context of better for myself, which is like, okay, I send the idea out to the person. They didn't take it, they don't take it. It's okay. I did my part. So that's that. And we are straying so far away. I don't know what I'm talking about. And I decided to, mm-hmm, yeah, I don't rush things now. So that's the thing. But I am craving speed. So how do I make it happen? And I get to be reminded about the frequency, which is like, if you feel it, you feel it. If you feel the flow, then flow with it. That's the thing. And we we write that as yesterday's live title, and I'm like, that's fascinating. And I didn't write it in the description, so. And that's the thing that I want to talk about, is that if you feel something that you want to experience, want to create in your present time, and you are stuck with the process, if you stuck with the how do I actually get there, if you want it, if you have the basic experience, what do you call it? If you have the basic idea of what that is, then you can expand from that and you can get it like right now. And you can just live it. Leave the idea to your present time, and you will have the momentum built for you, because then you see, oh, this is how I feel in my body. Because that's really important, the embodiment of your creation, because you don't necessarily like steal it from anyone else. It's yours because you get to experience it from your system. You crave it. It's already there. You don't need to search more for it. You just need to like flow with it. Expand it from there. So yeah. And my voice is still not back. That's why I think like I'm whispering right now, and that's why the mic is so close. But yeah, I hope this life is fine. And if you catch the replay, type 8. And if you're here live with me, type 8 in the chat. Okay. Yeah, we did pretty good today, at least. I'll see you tomorrow.